Ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and welcome back to another video on the channel. Just a quick announcements before we get into this video. The first thing is, I'm sorry that this video is a day late. I couldn't film for a few days, and then when I tried to film this today, earlier, I couldn't because my internet and everything was down, so I had to wait for everything to come back up and just reboot everything, so that's why this video is going to be late. And then I want to say I will be taking a couple days off because I am moving back to college for my junior year of college. So yeah, just be patient. The videos are going to slow down for a couple days, and then we'll pick up finishing the 2 deep dives and jumping into some Broncos content as we get closer to preseason and the regular season. Now, I also, as always, want to remind you that Jesus is King. I pray that you give your life to Him. And yeah, it's one of the greatest things I've ever done. It'll make you so much more happy, fulfilled, and give you a purpose in this life. And I hope and pray that you think about giving your life to Jesus and believing that He died on the cross for your sins and rose from the dead 3 days later. And if you truly believe that, if you truly believe He died on the cross for your sins, then you will go to heaven and spend eternity with God, Jesus, and every Christian, every believer, including myself. You'll spend eternity with heaven with us, and I just pray that you think about giving your life to Him. And yeah, it's my message. I love to promote this message. And yeah, without further ado, let's jump into the quote of the day. This quote of the day comes from Isaiah chapter 60, verse 22. When the time is right, I, the Lord, will make it happen. Now, to me, what this quote means is, everyone has their own little plan in their head, but compared to God's plan, it is insignificant. God's plan is perfect, and He will make things right and time things perfectly when they need to happen in your life, because we think we have things in control, and when we need something that we should get it right away and all this stuff, but things don't happen right away. God will place it into your life when you need it most and at the perfect time. For example, praying for a girlfriend. If you want to get into a relationship, and you pray about getting a girlfriend and who's Christian, and you may want it like right now, right that second, but God will put her into your life at that perfect moment. Trust me, I know from experience. And yeah, just trust Him, and He will give it to you. I mean, I've been praying about getting a girlfriend for a while now, and He will put it into my life when the timing is perfect. I truly believe that, and just be patient with the Lord. He will make it happen when the time is right. I love this quote, Isaiah 60:22. And yeah, without further ado, let's jump into the depth chart. So the depth chart for me goes Von Miller, Bradley Chubb, Malik Reed, Derek Tuska, Jonathan Cooper, Andre Mintz, Pita Tamopenu, and Natrez Patrick. So yeah, let's jump into this. So obviously the starter, Von Miller, the future Hall of Famer, 250 pounds, 6'3", has 10 years of experience out of Texas A&M. And Von Miller, coming into this 2021 NFL season, is looking to prove everyone wrong. Many people are downing Von and saying that he is washed up because of his injury, and they think his production is going to slow down, but I just don't see it. I see Von pushing to make the comeback player of the year. I see him wanting to win Defensive Player of the Year. And that's been a goal of his for a while now. He hasn't accomplished it quite yet, but I could see him, if he has a great season, I could see him winning that, and I could see him winning Comeback Player of the Year. Von is resilient. Everyone last year in camp before he got hurt said he looks amazing, and everyone this year says he looks amazing again in camp. So I'm hoping and I'm expecting a big season from Von Miller. Next, we've got Bradley Chubb, obviously the other edge rusher we drafted 5th overall in 2018, 275 pounds, 6'4", 3 years of experience out of NC State. Bradley Chubb's a solid pass rusher. We're looking for him to have a breakout season and just become that elite pass rusher that we know he can be, and what many of the experts said coming out of the 2018 draft. coming out of the 2018 draft, many people said Bradley Chubb was the best player in that draft class. A lot of people compared him to the likes of Von Miller, Khalil Mack, and we're looking for him to break out this season, to become a Von Miller, to become a Khalil Mack, to become a Myles Garrett. And I think he can achieve that goal. Because if you think about Bradley Chubb's career, those 3 years, 2018, rookie year, you expect him to adjust to the NFL, so it's going to take some time. He set the Broncos rookie season sack record, I believe, with 12, so a great start. Last year, in 2019, he got hurt early, so he didn't really get the production and the playing time that early. And then this past year, Von Miller gets hurt, so he is taking on a majority of the double teams. So he wasn't very productive because teams were just focusing on stopping Bradley Chubb off the edge. So in 2021, with Von Miller back, and this defensive line with Shelby Harris, all these guys, I expect Bradley Chubb to break out and become a great pass rusher. I truly think he has what it takes, and I still believe in Bradley. At number 3, or the third depth chart, the third edge rusher on this team is Malik Reed. At 235 pounds, he stands 6 feet 2 inches tall. He has 2 years of experience out of Nevada. He is a solid depth pass rusher. He'll fill in when need be. So if Vaughn or Chubb need a break on, say, third down or a certain down, Malik Reed can come in and provide just a rest break for them and still be very solid and not have a drastic drop off when it comes to pressure off the edge. I do see Malik Reed in that Shaquille Barrett type of role. I think he's that solid third edge rusher who can fill in and also be a second edge rusher if, hopefully this doesn't happen, but if an injury occurs, I do think he can step up and fill to be that second edge rusher. Obviously last year when Vaughn got hurt, we had Jeremiah Tachu and DeMarcus Walker. But this year it's going to be all Malik Reed if someone goes down, and, I think he's up to the challenge. Next, we have Derek Tuska, edge rusher out of North Dakota State. He has 1 year of experience, stands 6 feet 4 inches tall, weighs 251 pounds. Tuska has been bumped up the depth chart this season due to the losses, as I mentioned earlier, Jeremiah Tachu and DeMarcus Walker. I don't expect him to have a whole lot of playing time and production, but I do expect him to be a solid edge rusher and can fill in if needed. My expectation isn't super high on Tuska. Obviously he was the second to last pick in the 2020 draft, so there is that little bit of not super highly valued, but he could shock me, shock a bunch of other Broncos fans, and become a very solid pass rusher. But we'll have to see that this season, because right now he's got a lot of people to prove. Next up, we have Jonathan Cooper, edge rusher out of Ohio State. He stands 6 feet 3 inches tall, weighs 254 pounds, and like I said, he's a rookie out of Ohio State. And Jonathan Cooper this season, I can see him in one of two different roles. The first role being is sitting and learning behind the veterans, getting opportunities on special teams while he sits and learns, like I said, behind the vets. And the second option is I could see him being cut and then placed on the practice squad. Being a 7th round pick, there isn't a huge financial commitment to Jonathan Cooper. I do expect him to make the team, but don't be shocked if the Broncos cut him and place him on the practice squad because they want to carry someone else on the team. We saw that last year with Tuska, funny enough. He got cut, placed on the practice squad, and then he got called back up later in the season. I don't think Cooper gets cut, but it's just a scenario to look out for if the Broncos like another guy and want to keep someone else around and just put Cooper on the practice squad. Next up is Andre Mintz, and this is someone who I'm actually very, very excited to watch play this preseason. Yeah, he's an edge rusher weighing 249 pounds, stands 6 foot 3 inches tall. He is a rookie out of Vanderbilt. And like I said, Andre Mintz is a very intriguing prospect. He was an undrafted free agent, so not much was expected out of him. However, he was one of the top undrafted free agents, and Mintz could be the one player to keep the undrafted free agent streak alive of an undrafted free agent player making the team. It's 17, 18 consecutive years now. So I think he would be the one to keep it alive. And I think he has a great upside, and I expect him to make the team and learn from the vets and eventually take over sometime in the future. He's that kind of undrafted free agent pass rusher that we've seen in the past, like Shaq Barrett. I'm excited for Andre Mintz. Vanderbilt, not a great football program, college football program, but I do expect Andre Mintz to make the team. Everyone that I know and have a lot of respect for scouting college players said this guy was one of the best undrafted free agent pickups, and I'm excited to see what he does this preseason. Next up, we have Pedro Pena. Edge rusher, 254 pounds, 6 feet 1 inch tall, 3 years experience out of Utah. Peter's a vet who was brought in to provide competition to the rookies and Tuska, so the young players. However, I do expect him getting cut with the front office wanting to provide the opportunities for the younger guys. Peta is obviously still fairly young with 3 years experience, but to me, I just see the depth after Mintz, just not us keeping that many around. He could make the team, but I expect him to get cut personally. And, nothing against him, but hey, football's a business. At the end of the day, I think he was just brought in to provide some competition and bring the best out of the rookies and young guys. And finally, we have Ngata Patrick, edge rusher, 242 pounds, 6 feet 3 inches tall, 2 years out of Georgia. And the same thing kind of with Ngata's, like I said with Peta. I expect him to come and compete with the younger players, but in the end, I do see him getting cut unless he has a phenomenal camp from here on out and a terrific preseason. And once again, we haven't seen the Broncos in the preseason yet, so things could definitely change by the time you're seeing this. But right now, I see Ngata Patrick getting cut. And that's going to do it for the Edge Rushers video. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe. The support is greatly appreciated. And the next video, I don't know when that's going to be. It's going to be after I move back into college. But I expect it to be the linebackers deep dive. And then after that, the defensive line deep dive. And then we're done with the deep dives. And we can start a brand new series. Anyway, without further ado, thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day. And I'll catch you next time. Peace out.